my name is Mowmaster. Welcome back to All the Mods 10. It's been a little while, and we've gotten a little bit of stuff done. So, it is been after a little stream, and we got a little base work done, as you can see. Cleaned up the base on this back wall, finally. Cleaned up the floor space, so now we actually have floor space again. I don't think this has ever been this clean. And yeah, I think it's time to get started with kind of the final phase of our Theurgy mod playthrough. And that is automating all the things. Yeah. All right. So how we're going to go about this, or I guess in the stream that we did, you can catch the stream over on Twitch on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, Central Standard Time, or you can catch the vods the day after. There's one going up for Saturday, one going up for Sunday, and then another one going up Tuesday. So you can catch all those VODs those days as well. And the only reason the last VOD goes up on Tuesday is because the episode goes up on Monday. So that's the only reason why that's that way. Anyways, yeah, so what do? We took our nice little conversion niter setup and we put it upstairs finally. It's been resting downstairs in kind of this area for a while, and it was not very pretty. I meant to pretty it up, and I finally did. So now we can see very clearly the different tiers of niter that we're creating. As you see, white is the most prominent, then commons, rares, and precious, which there's only two. So as you can see, those are the different niters that we have available to us, which is pretty cool, and they're all working nice and neatly. I used concrete and some chiseled concrete as well. So there's some chiseled great concrete. And it has some nice connected texture there. And then this is the white version. You can't really see the grate behind it super well. It does kind of blend in with the pedestals a bit. But you can see the border of the white, the green, and the other colors, which is what I wanted. And then, of course, we have a little bit of lighting up there just to make sure it's all nice and lit. Yes, the nodes are still here. We need those to pull items out. I thought those would look nicer than using pipes. There is one step nicer we could go with this. We could use cable facades from AE and use import buses. We could do it that way as well, but I thought, nah, this is good enough, I think. I think this is pretty enough. It looks nice. It's very, very open. It works with the rest of our layout, and I think it looks out really nice. This was from a couple episodes back, so nice, fits in the corner finally, nice and neat. And then over here, we moved all of our digestion stuff over here. As you can see, there is a little bit of a jump up over here, but I mean, this corner might change texture-wise a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. The torches might also go. We might change those out as well at some point. But yeah, the way I'm doing that is I'm just using the nodes there and the nodes there and the nodes there. So a little more nodes than before, but it fits all of our digestion right in the corner, which I think is really nice. So, and the way digestion is set up, if we open up our jade again, we have our gold is going down here to make purified gold, and then this is our mob drops, our common. Oh, we're out because I'm not running it right now, am I? Yeah, we're out right now. That's why. But yeah, so that's our common mob drop stuff. And then this is our gems all getting converted properly, and of course our precious gems also getting converted right here. So yeah, cool. And yeah, precious gems are getting converted into there, and then they're going their respective ways. Obviously, we are building up a nice little buffer of that so far, but it's going to be a little while until we get this fully buffered out. So, and that's perfectly fine. Like, that's pretty much expected at this point. But yeah, so that is everything. Everything's all kind of nice and situated storage-wise. And what's going on downstairs? If this is upstairs, what's downstairs? It's changed a little bit as well. This will end up looking more like this one, and we're going to work on this side today. This is going to be, at least for right now, this might move, maybe. This area here might potentially move upstairs to this area, but I do kind of look like the idea of having all of our like techie machines in this little glass area, so I don't know if we're going to do that. And I don't really want to move the AE setup again. So, for right now, we're going to do all of our incubation down here in this little corner. Another little corner area for stuff. I don't know what's going to go there yet, but another corner area nonetheless. And then here is the start of our reformations. The very start of our reformation stuff. So we kind of fleshed this out in stream how this is going to work out. And I like the direction we're going here. Obviously, I'm going to push this wall out just a wee bit. The island design, we're going to have to do probably a stream where we just decorate the island, make the island actually look nice on the outside. I'm not going to lie, I don't have flight, so I don't know what the island looks like on the outside. We've kind of just lived in here for the most part. And when I go other places, I teleport half the time. We don't really get to come see our island and all of its majestic splendor and whatever you want to call it. But until then, yeah, we're going to just keep living like we have been. So I pushed this wall out a little bit just so we can get some stuff back here. But yeah, the whole idea is this. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this pack has cable limits on or off. The default vanilla applied energistics, you have a maximum of 8 different peripheral things that you can attach to your network before the network shuts off. And I have a storage bus under this guy. This is kind of a placeholder for a whole drawer system. I have a storage bus over here, so we're able to pull out items from this system, which we want for various reasons. Actually, I don't have to do that. That would save me so much cable too. And some hassle now that I think about it, because I don't really want access to that whole thing. Yes. Oh, yeah, that would work. That would work. I just had a revelation. We could use a stocking upgrade and stock a barrel and just access that barrel with a storage bus instead of accessing the entire network there. Because there's really no reason I need to access the whole network. There's no reason at all. In fact, theoretically, I don't even need the sulfurs in that network to be there. I could just store the materials themselves in that network. Oh man, actually this is a huge change up. We'll have to do this in the stream tomorrow. This is coming out Monday, so this will be Sunday's stream VOD or Saturday's stream. But anyways, the idea I just had is I don't need this storage drawer system to be the sulfurs or the niters. We could literally store sulfurs and niters in these corners. Actually, mainly the niters is the only thing that needs stored. The niters and some of the other bits and bobs that we need to make everything could be stored in the corners down here. And then that whole system could just be our system of storage. That actually would be a lot better, because then that's item storage. So then we have item storage instead of sulfurs. And then that's our reformation production for niters. And then all of the niter storage would actually go here in the corners, because I don't know what I'm putting in the corners right now. And I can store a fair bit of stuff in the corners. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks worth of space. So that's 5 times 4, because we have 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that'd be 4 times 5. Yeah, that's like 20 blocks, so 40 blocks of storage space. 80 blocks if we use all 4 corners. And the thing is like the niters are really the only thing I need to store. I would like to store one of each of the sulfurs just in case we somehow lose it somehow. But in theory, there's no reason to have this like this. There's a lot of empty space, obviously, so we haven't collected them all. But there's no reason to have this entire drawer system. There's no reason for it. I really just need this, these two, that, those two. That's it. That's all we need access to, which easily could fit in a corner. All right. We have an idea. We have an idea for another stream. Woohoo! Where's a written book? I'm out of ink. backpack on my back. Is that? Yeah, it is. There it is. Get rid of that. Don't care about that right now. That was a previous episode. Cool. All right. Get rid of... Cool. That is now what I'm going to do in a stream. Sweet. All right. Anyway, sorry, that just came to me. That's just a perfect idea for that. Reuses that, keeps that usage still relevant. Because, yeah, sulfur storage is no longer necessary once we start automating all the sulfurs. There's no reason to have storage of it because we don't need the storage. We literally just need to incubate everything. Yeah. All right. Cool. That will do. That will do. All right. So anyway, back to the episode at hand here. What we want to do to even get anywhere, today I want to focus on iron primarily, gold, which we're actually short of. This is my current stock of things. Obviously, those two we need a lot of. Iron we're decent on, copper we're decent on, but I really need all these to be above 400 or so. Because when I need iron, like bad. Copper is the same way. When I use copper, like I want to upgrade all of my barrels with upgrades, which just takes a crap load of these three materials. Diamonds as well, but diamonds are less necessary right now. Mainly copper, gold, and iron are the primary consumption of drawer upgrades right now. So, yeah. And quartz is always useful for like laser IO and AE uses it and all sorts of stuff too. So, all right. Anywho, we want to automate this today. The how we're going to do this. Obviously, we know how the reformation works. We've done this 3 or 4 times at this point. I'm not going to really show off this bit. I've actually already hooked up these 4 that we're going to use today. The idea is, and how the process is going to be, is we are going to have, and the reason why this is currently set up this way, is I need to suck out the proper niter that we need to input into the source pedestal. And then from there, that gets reformed as needed into the sulfurs, which get pulled out automatically and sent over here, is the idea. So, how I want this to go down is I want to use AE with their level emitters to turn these export buses on and off, if that makes any sense. So, having said that, I'm going to set up a temporarily I'm going to set it up this way. This might change. This might change entirely, but for right now, this is how I want to do it. So the idea is I want all of these to go like that. The first one is iron. So we need common metals. I'll need copper as well. Actually, it doesn't have to be iron on the bottom. I can put copper on the bottom. Copper, iron, gold. And I don't have gem. Where's the gem at? Gem. Here it is. Okay. For the quartz. Okay, so let's do this. Copper sulfur. So how we're going to set this up basically. I want, let's take the iron sulfurs out of here. I want this to be copper sulfur. I want to put a redstone card in here. So we have redstone. Active with signal. We want to give it alchemical niter abundant because that's the copper one. And this guy here, we want to set this to copper. Right, gotta go get an ingot of copper real quick. Set this to copper. And we're going to say 400. The reason why 400, well, I mean, technically 512 minus 64. The reason why minus 64, 512 is the max storage size. 64 is because this can hold 64 of an item. And this will not stop until it's already incubated. So it's probably going to be through, it's probably going to have a full stack in here when we stop it. And that's why I don't want to go over 512. So I want to be slightly under it when we stop. And that should be enough. Yeah, so that should be enough of a buffer. If we're under 400, it makes. If we're over 400, it stops, basically, is how that works. So that's the idea. We have copper set up here. This will automatically pull out when it's ready. So let's grab a barrel for now. This is temporary. I swear, it's temporary. And then, this is set up for copper? Yes, okay. All right, so that's set up for copper. This is set up for... Actually, let me pull these off. The reason why I'm pulling these off is I'm not sure if we're going to run into networking issues or not here. So I do this. Oh, I also need to give our network power. So let's go over here and give our network power like this. Just temporary. I'm going to take this off because I don't need it. Technically, I don't need this either. And... oh, you know what? Actually, let's make this red on this side. I'm just trying to separate our networks out, basically. So let's do that. So we're under on copper. That needs to send into there. It is sending into there. This will then work off here. Let's throw a bunch of mercury in here. This is not set up with nodes yet, but that's the idea. So this is now reforming, and eventually it will pop out in here. Cool. So now we are reforming copper automatically. Currently device online. Good. I want to use ME storage monitors, mainly because they show the items that we have in the system. And I don't believe we can pull out of them. Yeah, as you can see. Oh, if we right click, it's bad. Okay. Shit. That. How do you lock this? Gee. You can rotate it. You can rotate the storage wrench. Right click an item or double right click with a fluid container to set the monitor of the item fluid. Right click with empty hand to clear the monitor. Shift right click with an empty hand to lock. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. Boonk. What? Hold on. What does this say again? Gee. Shift right click with an empty hand to lock monitor. What? I have a feeling that's not working. Anyway, that's what I want to do, right? So if I go up here, Yeah, these don't connect. Those are two different networks. Perfect. I will recolor all these to be the same eventually. To set this up, it's going to be a pain in the rear if all the cables try to connect every time. I don't know if we're going to run into issues with channels. There is a chance that we can run into channel issues, which is why I'm trying to avoid it by doing this incrementally. Below limit, 400 again. We'll throw our iron back in here. $29 of that. Okay, I actually need to get this set up to our node network real quick. Mainly just because I don't want it to... okay, I want to do... Let's do 15. Let's do extract. Oops. And wrenchy wrench. I need a connector. Oh no, am I stuck? I'm stuck. No. No. Okay. I'm stuck. Aw. Really? Alright, you know what? Let's do that. And then that. Cool. Okay, so this will extract when it can. And then hello, sir. I don't know how you got in there, but I'm not going to complain. I'm going to connect that here. I'm going to connect them this way. Okay, so all those are now connected. The idea here is what I want to have happen is this will be strata. This will be our minerals. Minerals. Mineral salts. Cool. This will be our sulfurs. So these will be all of our ore-based sulfurs. Is a tag going to work for that? Do I have a tag filter on me? I do, actually. That might be fine. Okay. So this will be an insert, a tag, and then in this tag, we want sulfurs metals. I think that's what we want. For now, we'll do sulfurs metals for now. Okay, so amethyst counts as that as well. Wait. Hold on. There we go. There's our copper. Okay. So we'll do this again. We'll do that, that, filter, that, and that, plus, get rid of it. Get out of there. Anyways, so basically, as we have access to copper, sulfur, it will go in here. And then over here, on the downward side, We need mercury. Down that filter for mercury. Perfect. And then last but not least, I need to get our mercury catalyst. And I'm just gonna do a temporary setup for this, just because I don't want to faff with it all. I just don't want to bother with this right now. So we are going to just quickly set this up. Like so. All right, and then this is going to extract on that channel. I don't think it matters what gets extracted. That extract on this channel. Right, extract. Yep. Oh, plants. There we go. So now we're making copper. We're making copper. Cool, cool. So now that we're extracting on that, I need to then import that into our drawer somehow. So I guess we're going to go here. Look at the downward side. Go 14, yep. And then we'll connect this up. That should work. And there we are. We are now increasing our copper, which is what we need in order to get this production to stop working eventually. So there we go. That is kind of the whole setup here that we're trying to do. It says we have 36, 37. So as you can see, we are increasing our stores, and it seems to be fairly updated. So that is good. We are now producing copper as we should. So yeah, this is kind of how this will run. Like I said, maybe 400 is too much of a limit. Might bump this down to 300. Because if I could potentially have 2 stacks going in here at the same time and a stack in here, that's 3 stacks worth, which is like 180 something. So that's 200 roughly. So yeah, I want to not have an overflow, because right now this barrel only holds 512, right? And if I can't pull what's left in here out, then it's going to get a backup. It's going to back up and cause issues. Granted, I will at some point upgrade that barrel so it can overflow the 512 a little bit, but for right now, I don't want to bother with upgrading barrels until we get our whole system set up. So there you go. That is kind of the idea for the setup. The main thing here going forward is, will I have issues with network channels? That's online. Active with signal. We want iron is this one. Put iron in there. We are increasing. That's good. It might be that all the mods has it turned off for channel limits, which is good actually. This means we'll have a lot of an easier time at this. Okay, that's iron at 300. Cool. There we go. We're now doing iron. Oh, you know what I didn't think about? I'll just set that to 100. That way it's off right now. What I didn't think about is currently with how fast this runs, we're trying to bulk up on our copper production with this, and it doesn't run fast enough. So actually, oh man, I didn't think about that. I don't know if 2 of these is enough speed to keep up with our possible demands. So I might have to come up with a solution that Maybe we do keep so many sulfurs on hand at one time, and then sulfurs get released into here as we need them. So we have to do a two-sided thing, which maybe there is a reason why I need to keep all the sulfurs on hand. Right, because I don't want to have a crap load of sulfur that's stockpiled and not going anywhere. That's a problem. The solution to that would actually be no pipes go nodes. That would be the solution to this. Because that would mean that this stops at however many. And then, so this would stop at 64 max in here. And then it would only allow it to go through if it can. Or, what's the other solution here? Put a storage bus on this. Keep that as a storage inventory. And then only allow it to pass through into here. That's hard. That's a hard way to control that. How do you want to, without making this like I just want to make this like a passive thing, without making this super complicated. It might honestly have to be. Actually, that might have to be how it is. I might have to get a barrel. No, a drawer. Let's make a drawer. With an upgrade. And I want a restriction upgrade. So I want an upgrade that limits it to 1 stack. I think there's a option for that. I thought there was. Or is it called downgrade? There it is. Yikes. Downgrades the slots of a max of 64 items, which is what I want. Oh, right. I have iron in here. I have iron over here. Okay. Oh, I just used my drawer, didn't I? Because for whatever reason, it doesn't see the 4x4 drawers in the system. It must use my other drawer. Why, I don't know. Oh, are you going to be a little pansy? Not allow this? Whatever, I'll make a birch drawer. Don't care. I just need a drawer, man. Just need a drawer. So the copper's in here. Copper's in there. So what's going to happen is we're going to build up a surplus of iron, potentially. Well, no, because there's no iron going in here now. So yeah, this will stop production of anything that we can't hold, basically. Which means that they'll stockpile in here and only be let through when they can be. So that should limit us to a fair extent on. And what we have to do is basically we'll have to group all the metals together. So all the different ones that for each one of these, we'll have to group them together in their own individual barrel of sorts, basically. That's kind of a weird way to prevent it from overproducing, basically, but it should work out just fine. So that way it'll kind of run through everything first that it can, and then we'll have a better idea of how much stock we have after that. And at most we'll have, that way at most we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At most we'll have 5 stacks of stuff. Realistically, no. Realistically, that will be mostly empty because that can easily keep up with one of these. Easy. So, at least I think it can. I could be wrong. It looks like it is. That's fine. So yeah, I think that will be enough of a buffer that we're not like super storing things, and we're gonna like go over our limits on anything really. So theoretically, I should actually be able to turn this back to its 300 limit, and this will just start producing as it produces, and that's how that will be. So yeah, that should be enough of a limiter that we can now limit things. But there we are. We are now producing our iron and stuff. I could set up gold and quartz here as well. So I guess, why not? We can do that real quick. Easy enough. Goldie and quartzy. Shouldn't need that anymore. As I can tell, or as we can tell, it doesn't seem like it is limiting us on channels at all. Yeah, doesn't seem like channels are limited at all, which is good. Very good. So we'll put gold there, and we'll put quartz up here. So we have a good idea of that stuff. And then real quick, we'll try to do this. All right, get our level emitters back out. Slap those down. Level emitter set to gold. 300, right? Yep, 300. Level emitter set to quartz. Emit when levels are below limit. Emit when levels are below limit. Get our export buses here. Junk. Redstone control that. Active with signal. This needs to push in the common gem. And then this one, redstone control, active with signal, rare metal. Cool, that is working now. So we'll throw our own rare metals in there, our own common gems, and our own common ingots. Oh, this is already full. Good to know. All right, there we go. That is those materials getting all bulked up. So getting all bulked up and ready, basically, for that process. And no, there is no channel limit so far, which is actually a blessing. Because if there was a channel limit here, that would be kind of painful to work around. Basically, the workaround is you get an ME controller. Each controller side has 32 channels. In older versions of AE, the reason why I was worried, in older versions, the storage monitors counted as channels. So that's 4. Each one of these is a channel. So that's another 4. So that's 8. Each of these used to be a channel, which is 12, not including the storage bus here, which would have been 13, and the storage bus there, which would have been 14. So I would have had 14 channels. Cables can only carry 8 normally, so we'd have to split that up into 2 different cables worth, basically. And the way you do that, long story short, is take an ME controller. You basically grab a P2P, and this P2P can now hold 32 channels. What this is doing is this is like teleporting these channels. So this is like a phantom face. This face is now available over here on this P2P line. This P2P line is just carrying this and this, which is 2 channels. So this line is bound to 2 channels, whereas this is connected to the face, which holds 32 channels here. So this could hold 32 channels, and then we could basically what we can do is we could say, okay, this has 8 channels connected to it with a cable, have another cable over here with another P2P that has 8 channels on it. And, eventually 8 and 8 and 8 and 8 makes 32 for our face. So we can split up the channels this way, which is what I was assuming I would have to do. Did not mean to hit that stone. I'm sorry. Please don't lynch me. It's a lot of... Oh, that's where all that came from. I actually hit that flooring. Whoa, that took out a lot of cobble. Well, luckily we have plenty of stone, but not what I wanted to have to repair right now. Anywho, yeah, that was my worry, but it seems like all the mods has made it so that there's no limit channels or limited channels per line, which is awesome. This has kind of been the way people have been going now that refined storage has kind of not been updated yet. At least I haven't seen it in packs lately. So this is kind of their workaround, is they disable channels, and then no one has to complain about, oh, AE has channels, AE is the worst, blah, 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 blah. Instead, they can use it this way. The sad part about that is then P2P is useless. Like, P2P existed. Well, P2P is basically pipes, but in AE. And it worked out really well with channels to get channels around your base basically. But if there's no limit to the channels, then P2P loses a lot of its functionality. Honestly, it can still be used as like liquid fluid ducts basically, or energy ducts, or in our case we have some add-on mods that allow it to transfer mana, which we'll probably end up using at some point. But yeah, that's kind of the idea here, is we're not going to stockpile all of these materials. As you can see, we have 11 of the copper left in there, and we have a little bit of the copper left in there. So once that is all out, we'll probably be around 500. But this is already off at 300, right? Because we've hit our 300 limit. So yeah, this is how we're going to stockpile everything. And as you can see, this is already starting to stockpile. So we have 9 in there, 32 in there, 37 in there. And so as this barrel empties and becomes available, these will then stockpile in there. They'll go over to our crafter, which will then split up the stacks and start working on things. So yeah, I think this is a good solution for our problem. And yeah, so basically my goal is to now automate all the different things that we need, and we'll have to split them up into groups, right? So like the ones that need minerals, we want to put in one barrel or one drawer. Ones that need plants in another drawer. Ones that need strata in a third, and then ones that need animals in a fourth. And that way, those buffers will prevent them from overloading this network and prevent them from also creating too many sulfurs that we don't need after they've hit their buffer limit. So yeah, I think that'd be good fun. So thank you everyone for stopping by, hanging out. I know we didn't do a huge amount of stuff. Most of this will get fleshed out during the stream on Saturday. So yeah, and that stream will be out on Sunday as a VOD. So if you want to go back and watch yesterday's VOD, you can. It'll be on the channel, uploaded as probably 15.5. Yeah. And of course, all the work before this was 14.5 as well. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon. Bye.